probably lagging like crazy. There we go. Oh God, why has YouTube become confusing? I have to go to a completely different page to edit this video. Oh, alright. Well, I mean, oh wow, hold on. I don't know. Like, there's not much. I don't have an audience to talk to. I mean, of course, I have to build that audience and I have to bring back the people who I, tried to convince, but like, This isn't a my previous fans welcoming me back with open arms kind of moment. Kind of just have to pretend like I exist. No, that's not how this works. That's right. You put that dance on and people actually joined. And this is one of the most grindy, like, if I had an actual subject to talk about, like I've seen countless, or not countless, but a few people who actually play and stream Monster Hunter who have talked about a lot of political stuff, who are willing to practically demonetize their channel, just to have something interesting to talk about. And yeah, it was interesting. And it definitely was, like, kind of got me thinking about, oh man, my experience. I started off with a game that was released in 2004, called 4 Ultimate, and it was my first time I played the game. I want to say I bought it in 2016, and I was very confused. I was a bad person at the game. I didn't even know what most of it was about. I just knew that there was this cool, dark, scary monster called Gormagala, and I wanted him, and I wanted to fight him all the time. And Monster Hunter was always confusing for a while, at least to me. But now that it's a bit better, like with World, they needed to connect with a different audience. So, what better to do that than to just practically make a new game for it? And that's when, you know, the hubbub for release in a different area, and people were like, wait a minute, this like exists. Because, um, it's definitely meant for people who are willing to go through with a grind. Because there's a lot to do. There's so many monsters to hunt, and people who love taking the time to go through fighting these monsters, learning their movesets over and over again, they'll love it. But people who like a good story in a game, or just like going through single fights, almost like an arena style, it's not entirely going to be for them. It is a bit of a learning curve though, because instead of learning how to not die in this game, it's a matter of learning how to analyze the monster's movesets. It's playing around an AI more than an actual game, or more than fighting actual people. It's a whole different curve. But this game does have its boring fights. Oh man. I mean, Capcom hasn't even gotten into the idea of microtransactions yet. Like, they haven't gotten to that area. They've only gone into DLC and other stuff, so I highly doubt, and I really wouldn't want them to go into the subject of Battle Royale, because this is already a game that's not meant for person versus person. Like, this is kind of a team game. It almost changed the attitude of what they think Monster Hunter is. People are like, is this just a lie? And, oh man, depending on what people were here, if I actually said that I wouldn't want them to go in the direction of a battle royale, a bunch of people would be like, "What do you have against battle royales?" Then I'd get into a whole different subject. And there's not much, I mean, like, of course, there is a lot of stuff to teach about this game. It's mainly grinding techniques and, what build is best, which is kind of sad because I don't know, people who play this game are very focused on, like, what goes with what, because there's a meta, which is for everything, and then there is what just basically works. And Monster Hunter has tried very hard to stay away from anything that completely dominates the game. And the only thing that's really come close to that is a practical DLC. It wasn't even their thing. Uh, we weren't supposed to get a mount here. We were supposed to save that for the last phase of this fight. Because now it's going to take even longer to mount the monster and knock it down, which is mainly what mounts are for. I wonder if this. I mean, like, Capcom is expanding. They're kind of outside of their Nintendo little safe box. So I wonder if blah, 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 I can't speak. If they'll ever consider something like Bloodborne or Dark Souls or something like that, seeing as it's Xbox and PlayStation. Because DLCs are like limited or limitless in this. I have to head out. Alright, I'll take any at this point.